Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm your man, your host, June's the original Jew, representing that ROD, the Repent or Die podcast. And on today's episode, I had to title this podcast, the podcast to my daughter. Just like how Tupac made a song called The Letter to My Unborn Child, I wanted to dedicate this podcast to my daughter, my third child, Brianna. Yeah, I ain't gonna say your whole GOP, but this podcast go for you. And I know you guys is wondering why would I make a podcast in dedication to my child. Well, for the last, I won't even say couple of months, I'll just say the last few years, my relationship with my daughter hasn't been as it's supposed to be, the way that I have my relationship with my son and my youngest daughter. And there's many of reasons. You know what I'm saying? I could point fingers at myself, I could point fingers at my mother, but the morality is that the relationship is not where it needs to be. And her moms came to see me Sunday to pick up some papers. You know, she did good in school, so she needed the papers notarized in order for her to travel out the country. But so the moms, came see me, and we spoke briefly, and she said something to me, and the things that she said to me was, how my child is receiving therapy, and that, she feels that, I don't love her the way that I love my others. So I had to let this podcast be made directly and only for her. So let me say this first. Brianna, your father loves you. Like I tell you all the time, I'ma always love you. I'ma always be there. Your father, he's a busy man. A very, very busy man. I got your brothers and your sisters, and your father is just like how your mother is, a single parent, and I gotta do my due diligence. I got a house, got a car, got a lot of things that I gotta take care of. And now that you institute this podcast and the business, my personal business that I'm trying to lift up from the ground, I do get overwhelmed. You understand? And I don't want you to feel like I'm never there. Should I be more in tune? Absolutely. I'm not gonna make it seem like, I'm Mr. Perfect. But at the same time, your father always gave you the window for you to express, talk to me, call me, reach out to me. If you say, yo, Dad, I want to spend time with you, and that's another issue too, but I'm gonna get to that later. If you want me to spend time with you, you want to have a conversation, you want to have one-on-one, these things, or should I say, these doors is always open, and you always have access to that. That will never ever change. You understand? And I know part of your frustration is the fact that, you spent your whole life thinking that you was my number one, princess. Then you found out that you had an older sister. And like I told your mother, my oldest is about to be 19 years old. She's a grown woman. She finished high school. She's working. She's on her grind. You know what I'm saying? And our conversation is just, hey, Dad, what's up? Chillin', what's up? When we gonna link up? Can you send me some money? Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Just the regular, things that an 18-year-old will ask. And she's my child, so we just accustomed to just doing things for self. You understand? And I gotta get her some Yeezys too, I know. And if she ever hear this, just know I got you. You know, it's just bills tied up, you know what I'm saying? Investing in other things, promotional, all of these things is literally got my hand in a loophole, you know, but that's neither here nor there. You know, back to my daughter, Brianna. Like I said, I never ever wanted you to ever feel like I was never there. And for those that don't understand, that don't know what made the situation escalate to where it is now, where she feels like she needs therapy, and this is just my perspective. You know, during the summer, I think last year, while the pandemic, you know, certain areas was open, I took my daughter shopping. You know, this is her first time ever. This is her first time ever, you know, having alone time with me. And, you know, made the best of it. I took her to the mall, you know what I'm saying? And even on the drive there, you know, the first thing I had to let her know is everything that I previously said. You know, I'm here, you know, your father's doing X, Y, and Z, you know, it's hard, you know, raising two children. As you can see, your mom's is raising just you. Me, I'm raising two. You understand? And at that time, I was dealing with a lot of personal things that, you know, my daughter's too young to be involved in. You know what I'm saying? Or too young to know. You understand? But neither here nor there. I always told her I am always available for you. You call me, you need me. I don't care where I'm at, what I'm doing. I am there. You understand? And you know, we went out, did whatever, took her shopping, and you know, I offered like, yo, you know, let's not just end it just like that. We could go sit down and eat. You know what I'm saying? Chop it up some more. You know, just get to know. You know, every time I see you, you're just a whole different individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, just for me to get to know you and understand you and build with you and just pick your brain so you can get a clear understanding on your position where your father stands. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that, you know, and I won't even say for her, but for her mother, when me and her mother was involved, I was still in the streets, I was hustling, was doing the X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? But now that I'm on a whole different type of time, you know, my acceptance to the foolishness or the foolery is, you know, like I'm not in tune and I'm not accepted to the things of this world. You know what I'm saying? Like I disclose myself when it comes to that. I separate myself from that. I try to live a righteous, positive manner, and with that, you know, the scripture says, freely given, freely received. So now that I'm in the know, you know, my job as a father, I'm going to educate my children and tell them certain things and operate on a whole different type of time where people will not be accustomed to, especially if you ain't seeing me on a regular basis. You understand? You're just waking up to just receive all of this overwhelming information, scriptures, documentations, information based on, you know, celebrities or whatnot. And a lot of times, you know, it be overwhelming, but that's neither here nor there. So, you know, I offered to sit down and, you know, just have a conversation. And, you know, she declined, and which was cool. And then, you know, on our way back, you know, we having conversations, you know, we always be, you know, I always joke around with her, you know what I'm saying? Because she's not from, you know what I'm saying? She's not from my side of town. You know, I'm not going to tell you guys where she's from, but she's not from my side of town. We're going to leave it as that. And then, you know, I end up taking her home. And then with the conversation, I was like, yo, I'm going to send you some information of stuff that I received. She was like, okay, cool. So, I drop her off, you know. I said, yo, I see you I'll see you later, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna text you when I get home, whatever. Cool. So then now we fast forward. I say, like, you know, I texted the information, and then, you know, I send continuous texts, and I'm getting no reply. So I don't know what's going on. I'm thinking, you know, she's in her bag because prior to me taking her out, you know, her mom, you know, gave me a courtesy call and was like, yo, you know, just to let you know, your daughter is feeling like this, she's moving like that, she's going through her you know what I'm saying, she's PMSing, going through her periods and all that. So she's dealing with a lot of emotions, which is understandable, and it's cool, you know, and I'm not gonna fight that, but now I got a clear understanding on how I'm gonna operate with her. You understand? So I'm sending her the texts, not getting no reply, nothing. Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going based on for me. I'm like, well, you know, when I seen her, everything was all dandy. Alright. So her birthday now comes around. Her birthday's coming up. Still sending texts, still sending, yo, what's up, what's going on? Doing your birthday's coming up, let me know what you want. You want this, you want that, boom, boom, boom. And still no reply. So the day of her birthday, I call her. Mind you, I just came back from out the country dealing with a major situation, and even took the time out of that to call her, to check up on her, and do the X, Y, and Z. And I call her mom's, because obviously I'm calling her phone, it's going to voicemail. So now I call her mom's, and then her mom's is gonna, you know, mom's is like, oh, she's trying on clothes, I have her call her back. And that right there was like a red light to me. It's like, have her call me back. Like, your baby girl, I'm her father. If I call her, you give her the phone. Period. You know what I'm saying? There's no, oh, well, she's doing something. No, I'm not raised like that. I don't know where we get this children have superior powers over parents. I'm not raised like that. You know what I'm saying? If I call you, say, yo, I want to speak to my child. Yo, you got to speak to your father. But cool. So now, like I said, I just came back from out the country dealing with a horrific situation. And I'm upset for the fact that, you know, Shorty did that. You know what I'm saying? So I sit back, and now I'm waiting to see if she's going to call me back. Sure enough, she didn't. Hours go by, days go by. Okay, cool. So then now my mom's reached out. You know, texting my daughter. She's not getting no reply. So then my mom reached out to the mother. Then now my BM's telling my mother, oh, she got a situation with her pops, and because, you know, it's not involving you, situations with him, etc. And now because of that, you know, now my mom didn't even get a chance to speak to her. So, and my mom's just like, okay, so yeah, so she's upset with her father, or there's a situation between them two, but what's that got to do with me? It's her B-Day. I would like to talk to her. Moms ain't getting no contact. Mom reached out again. No reply. So now you know my mom is gonna tell me this. So now I'm beyond upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, one thing that you're not, like, I was never raised to disrespect your elders, especially your grandparents, especially my mom's. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom would make sure, like, she does the overboard when it comes to my daughter Brianna. You know what I'm saying? And Brianna, this is not no bash. This is just, I'm just trying to put everything together so you can get an understanding, right? So now my mom's telling me that. So now I'm upset. You know what I'm saying? I'm upset. You know what? I said, and I sent my daughter a last text, and I'm gonna read to you guys the text. Hold on. So this is what the text says. So on Monday, December 28, 2020, I said to my daughter, Bri, I don't know what's your issue, but just know I love you. But this will be the last time I'll be texting you. When you ready to tell me the problem, you holler at me, but you won't be getting another text from me. And now, mind you, this is me texting her from the minute that we went. This is me texting her from the minute we went to the mall shopping till the very day, December 28th. All right, cool. Now, time flies by, and then now I see, like I said, her mom's come to see me, and she was like, yo, I want to talk to you about Bri. Then she hits me with the, yo, Bri she's taking therapy and X, Y, and Z. And then I said to her, then she tells me, oh, I forgot to tell you that I blocked you out her phone. So now I get this intel that all this time I've been texting had been going into a unanimous location other than my daughter receiving my text. So now I feel some type of way. I'm saying now it all makes sense, where it's like, well, if you want to be technical, you are the cause. She gonna tell me that, every time I text her, she be crying, or she feels like I'm not there and I don't love her, I don't check up on her. I was like, yo, I was doing all of that to this point. And when I'm not getting no reply, and then you add what's being done with my mom's and what took place with that, it was more like, okay, so you giving my child the comfortability to reject her father's side of the family, and that's just what it is. And I'm saying that because that's Shorty's pattern. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shorty move like that. You understand? But that's neither here nor there. So now I get this intel. I'm saying all of this. I'm like, yo, what? Why would you do that? Cool, whatever. And then I had to let her know, like, listen, when you sit down and you do the calculations, you know why my daughter feels that way? I'm like, because you're not allowing her to spend time with her father's side of the family. You're not allowing her to spend the night doing this. Like, I will see my daughter, if it's a month, if it's 4 weeks in a month, I'll see my daughter 2 times for a maximum of 12 hours. What bond and what bill is a parent and a child is building with 2 days and 12 hours? Make it make sense. So I had to let her know, like, there's plenty of times, like I would tell you, like, yo, bring her over here, let her spend the night, let her spend a week, let her spend a weekend, let her do something outside of me seeing her. And it's like I'm taking her out on a date. She's not getting a chance to see her father's side of the family. Like, she ain't never spent time with her uncles, never went out on a family on a family trip within just me. You know what I'm saying? Her brothers, her sisters, her uncles, you know what I'm saying? Her other uncles. Like, we never got a chance. She never got a chance to be a part of that. You understand? And when I brought that up, my BMs are gonna tell me that I can't use that because I never stopped Bri from being with me. And in all reality, you have. And you gotta take responsibilities for your actions. And I told her, you are being too overprotective of her. And that's not your job as a woman to be as protective as you are. You must let her understand she has a father. She has a supporting cast all across the board, all across New York. all across America, actually, because I got team members, I got family members. Listen, I got the G's all over the world. Yeah. But if you're not allowing me to do my due diligence as a father, allowing me to build and let her see for herself, it's gonna seem like I don't want to spend time with her. It's gonna seem like I don't want to do this with her. In all reality, that's not true. And her response is, she's scared. She don't want to be around you because you know certain things that you tell her, she still hold on to it. I'm gonna give you an example of what she said. She said that I told my daughter that Chinese food be cooking cats, and because of that she don't eat Chinese food. I'm like, first, I'm like, what's wrong with that? That's the truth. Second of all, she should not be eating Chinese food. That's unhealthy. Anybody that knows Chinese food is just as bad as eating McDonald's. You understand? But that's neither here nor there. And she told me that, after I dropped her off, she got out the car and she broke down and she started crying. And then in my mind, I'm like, but what is she crying about? You know what I'm saying? I explained to her, I spoke to her, I did everything. I even offered to sit down, and this is where now I changed the narrative and point the questions, and this is for you, Brianna. Like, you need to tell me what's on your mind. You need to tell me what's going on. You need to let me know what the problem is, what the issue is. You gotta understand, your father always is going to be there. I want you here. I want you to spend the night. I want you to be a part and see your father's side, get in tune. I want you to do that. But in all reality, it's not me. It's Mom Deuce as well. And then, like I said, Shorty says that she never denied Brianna from being with me. In all reality, you did. I remember I was like, my congregation is not too far from your crib. Dress her up, allow her to come and see what her father and her brothers and sisters and her grandmother, see what she's involved in. Mama B told me, she said, oh, she's not ready. When she's older, she'll make that decision. I'm like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You giving a child the opportunity to decide if she want to go to a place where she can pray to God and let her spirit be built up. Like, things like this. When I say these things and I hear these things, what you think that's gonna make a man want to do? You understand? It's like, okay, so it seems like everything got to be run through you. Like, I don't have no say. And like I told her when I seen her Sunday, I think I know how to be a parent. I've been raising my son from the minute he was born till now. My son gonna be 16 years old. I got my daughter, she's 9. I'm in both their lives. They sleeping right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, my parenting skills obviously is not bad. You see my children is well-mannered, respect. You know what I'm saying? They dress, they have their little flaws as children, but they children. But in the overall spectrum of things, my children is on point. You know what I'm saying? My children is never out of pocket, don't do X, Y, and Z. They listen, they follow the directions that they're told. My son don't walk around looking like a buffoon. I don't know how he operate when he with his friends. You know what I'm saying? Children operate a little bit different when they with their friends. But even that, I let him know, like, yo, you gotta hold yourself to high regards because you are in the know. You know who you are. You know what you're supposed to be standing on. You know how to operate. You know how you conduct yourself, and you know that you're representing me. You understand? I'm not no sucker. I walk and I operate and I live my life in a militant, authoritative fashion. I've been like that from even before I was in the truth. I was never the one to act a fool and seek attention. Like, that was never me. I was laid back. I did what I had to do. I was about my business. I was about the action. That was just what it was. But I was never the one to be acting a fool. You understand? So when I'm hearing these things, it's like there's a regulation. Like there's a limit that I can go in how I operate with my daughter. And there should not be no limits. You know what I'm saying? Because it's proven that I know how to be a father. I'm not one of them dudes that's just, that's running around and just impregnating women and going about their business. Like, I take heed, and I'm a proud individual. I'm proud to be a father. Like, I embrace that. I don't run from it. You know what I'm saying? I look forward to being a parent. To me, that's the most beautifulest thing, seeing them from a baby, from the bottom, just ooh gaga to standing up to, yo dad, I'm about to play basketball, or my daughter dancing and creating stuff. Like, it's a beauty for me to be a part of that, and I want to be a part of my daughter's life, absolutely. But these short period of times that I'm having, like, what type of relationship am I really building with my child? What type of relationship? How are we going to build that bond and get closer together when I can't even get close to her long enough to create that get close together? And Bri, I need you to understand that I'm going to always be there. And you need to put whatever issue aside and handle the issue head on. If you want to sit down and you want to talk, and let's talk and let's get to the bottom and get to some type of solution. How can we move forward? You understand? How can me and you move forward to the point where you are back into the state of comfortability? Because you don't need no goddamn therapy. You're only 12 years old. What therapy you need? What are you going to tell them? I feel like my daddy don't love me. That's not true. I feel like my daddy puts more time into these people, to the other children, than me. That's not true. It seems that way because we're never together. I only have you for a short period of time. Let your mother let her pack your bags and drop you off in Brooklyn, and you start spending time with your daddy, and you start being around, and you see how your father operate, and you gonna see like, oh wow, damn, daddy cool, yeah. You're going to receive all of that. You're going to receive all of that. You know what I'm saying? When I wake up, when I'm finishing my work and all of that, I come home, I get my daughter dressed. What do you think we doing? We going outside. We go work out. We go play. We go do something. We do anything that we have to do. I'm trying to keep her fit. You know what I'm saying? My daughter, through the quarantine, gained a lot of weight, so all that got to get killed off. You understand? But the point is that she spent time with me. My son, he gets up, do what he got to do. Your dad, I'm going to the Brooklyn Bridge Park. I'm going to play some ball. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to do whatever I do. I'm like, all right, work on your craft. Have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be the same thing for you. Like, I'm not going to be like how your mother is. I got to let you go through the jungle. That's the only way you're going to get strong out here. And this goes out to, you know what I'm saying, to my BMs. You can't be this overprotective. You can't putting me on a block because you want to protect her feelings, and you don't do that. Because I would like to know, like, I want her to build a confidence to come talk to me and speak to me about certain things. Like, I'm not the type of father. My son will talk to me about anything. He's gonna get a fatherly response, but I'm not gonna reject it. Same thing for my daughter, my youngest. I'm not gonna reject it. Same thing for my oldest. I'm not gonna reject it. You got something to tell me, something that's on your mind, you need clarity to, you need understanding, you need fixing. I'm definitely gonna be the one I'm definitely gonna be the one to give you the honest truth, because that's what I stand on. You know what I'm saying? So for my daughter BriBri, understand that I love you. Know that I'm always gonna be there. Know that it's not just me that's the problem. And to my BMs, you gotta open up. You can't be so overprotective. You gotta let Bri go through her trials and tribulations. Or you also gotta let her know that, you going to your father's side. You spending a week at your father's. There's no if, buts, maybes. You spending a week. Junes, listen, I'm dropping her off. That's how we used to do it. That's how we used to do it back in the days with our parents. You going to your father's house. Even if you didn't want to. Nope, you going to. Then you go there. When you watch movies like Menace to Society, that's what it was. You going to your father's house. I don't really want to. Nope, I don't want to hear none of that. You go there, you spend time, you build a bond, you build a rapport. I can't build a rapport, I can't build a bond. She won't feel comfortable and understand and understand what her father is doing if she's not present. And she needs to be present, and I want her to be present. But putting me on a block and being overprotective and want to secure her feelings, and because she all of that don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? That don't make sense to me. You need to let her come to her father, reach out. And to my daughter, like I tell you again, baby girl, don't be afraid to come talk to me. I never gave you that. I never gave you the avenue for you not to be able to voice and tell me what's on your mind. Like, I'm your pops. I'm not your buddy. I'm not gonna be mad because you feel some type of way. I'm gonna tell you the truth, but I'm not gonna be mad. Oh, and one of the things that my BMs told me that that my daughter was upset at me about was because what I said about homosexuality. And what I said is what I stand on. And this is what I said. I said to her, if any of my children decides to walk down that path, you might as well forget that you have a father. And when I told her moms that, she looked at me like, why would you say that? I mean, why would you not say that? Like, you see, this is what I be talking about. And I don't want to get into it, but this is the stuff that I be talking about. Like, we questioning what's right from wrong. And she said something, that's your truth, that's not my truth. I'm like, yo, baby girl, just because you don't believe doesn't mean what I'm saying is not true. If you don't want to believe it, that's for you. I'm not going to dispute that. Again, that's your truth, that's not mine. Okay, fine. But anything that I send to my children, anything that I send to my mothers, anything I send to my friends, anything that I put on this podcast and I walk on, it would never be fraudulent information. It's always gonna be accurate, in depth. You do your research, do your studies, you're gonna find out the truth. Like, I'm not here to bamboozle nobody, but if you choose to be blinded by the light, or blinded by darkness, I should say, then that's on you. But as a father, as a man in the know, I'm always gonna give information to my children and let my children know what time it is. And none of my children got issues. My son don't got no issue with that. I asked my youngest daughter, how you feel about that? She said, ew, daddy, that's nasty. Where am I wrong at? I asked my mom that. She said, yeah. Where am I wrong at? You see, because an individual like myself still keep the moral compass of humanity. I'm not switching it up to please something that's wrong in the eyes of God. That's wrong in just reproduction, period. You know what I'm saying? Most High said, I made Adam and Eve to be fruitful and multiply. So anything that goes against that is automatically wrong, and I'm not going to support that, period. And anybody, I don't care if you come from my bloodline, anybody that walks in that light, walks in that path, forget that you got a father. Because why would you have that even in your heart to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see my grandchildren. You operating in that light, that's no more of that. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave it as that. But to my baby girl, back to you. You know, your father loves you. I'll always love you. I'll always be there. I'm a call away. I'm a train ride, a bus ride, a drive. However you need me, I'm always going to be there for you. Look how your mother came. She said, yo, can you get these papers notarized? I got it done within a day and a half, 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do these things because I want you to understand that I'm always going to be there for you. And and another thing is, you know, because she blocked me, she felt that I was entitled to reach out to her. And I had to let her know, I didn't have no business with you. I don't recall me having to reach out to you to get in contact with my daughter. I remember you telling me, yo, listen, Bri got a phone now, so you can call her directly. Once I was given that, when I had to reach Bri, I never reached out to you. Unless we had an agreement for you to be like, oh, well, I'm bringing Bri over. She'll text me, and then when Bri come, we'll have the conversation. But outside of that, I never had an agreement to be reaching out to you. And me reaching out to you on your birthday, even that was too much. You know what I'm saying? Reaching out to my daughter on her birthday off your phone, that was too much. As a father, knowing that my daughter got a phone, you know what I'm saying? An iPhone at that. You know these children can't put their iPhones down. And me reaching out and not getting no reply, I feel some type of way. And I'm entitled to feel some type of way. Especially when I'm just finding out that you had me on a block list. You know? But that's neither here nor there. The moral of the story is, baby girl, I'm here. And I'm gonna let your mother know, you know. And I sent the mother the text. I even screenshot and show her all the texts that I sent her that led up to me. That's saying, all right, you're not replying, you're not doing this. When you're ready to holler at me, you holler at me, because like you said, she's going through her episode, and she, you know what I'm saying, she's in that journey when she's trying to find herself, and it's cool. I'm not going to get in the way of that, because you created this disconnect. You know what I'm saying? The lack of her spending time with her father's side of the family. You created that. You created this protection where it's hard for her to understand, you know, both cultures, because we are two different individuals. We come from two different societies, bro. You understand? So whenever you hear this, baby girl, because I'm going to send it to your phone. When you hear this, I want you to listen to it and understand that this is me to you, that my love will never change for you. You will always be my princess. Always. I got you saved in my phone as Bri, my princess. You understand? Like, that will never change. And I want you to understand that. And all of this crying and this, like, if it's bothering you like that, then maybe you need to come sit down and talk with your father. You don't need to talk to no therapist. Come talk to your father directly. The doors is always open. I will never stop loving you. I'ma always be there. All right? It's your boy Junes, man. You know what I represent, man. I spent 40 minutes giving you an in-depth detail of the podcast of my daughter. And I'ma always be there for you, baby girl. Alright, so this is from me to you. For those that's tuning in, thank you. I appreciate it. Support the movement, ROD. And this is me letting you guys get an in-depth, you know, an in-depth insight of my life. You know, I'm not Mr. Perfect. Never operate like I'm perfect. I go through the trials and tribulations like everybody else. But I'm a man of solution. And if I could fix it, I'm going to fix it. If I can't, then it's out of my hands. I leave it in the Father's. All right? I'm a holler. Peace.